Hi there. I am coming to you from Colorado, where I have been since last Thursday, and I am going to tell you just a little story about Mercury Retrograde and how it affects us. And this story should kind of give you a little bit of understanding. Let's see if I can get this little pendant thing to stand up here. Okay, so Mercury retrogrades happen 3 or 4 times a year. And what is a retrograde? A retrograde period is when a planet appears to go backwards. And it doesn't exactly go backwards, but it slows down. And when the planet slows down, it causes us all kinds of issues. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can put this up here so that I don't have to hold it steady. All right. All right. I'm here, guys. This is what happens when you're shooting out of your home element, right? Okay, we almost have it here. Okay. So the Mercury retrograde that began today will run for 3 weeks. However, prior to the retrograde period is what's called a shadow point. And this Mercury retrograde shadow point started October the 11th. And my little story about the retrograde is, so I manifest. I manifest in the moment. It's what I teach my clients how to do, creating miracles in their lives on a daily basis. So I was in the middle of my work day on a Thursday, and I got guidance, check airline tickets. And I was thinking, well, I never buy a ticket on a Thursday. And, I don't know that this is the best day, but I'll listen and trust the guidance. So I went online and I found a ticket, but it was extending the amount of time that I was going to be gone. I was going to leave Saturday, return on Tuesday. And what I was being offered was different dates to leave 2 days earlier on a Thursday and return on the Tuesday. I looked at it. It was $135, and I went, all right, I'll buy it. So I bought the ticket. It gave me additional time with my kids, and my wish and my manifestation was I would love this special birthday, because it's a special big one for me. I wanted it to be magical and memorable. And what are my favorite holidays? Well, Halloween and Thanksgiving, where there's no gifts exchanged. I wanted it to be reminiscent of those holidays. And looking at the weather for my trip, I was leaving Santa Barbara at 92 degrees and arriving in Colorado in the teens. I think it was 17 when I arrived on Thursday, a week ago today. And I had a fabulous birthday with my kids. They cooked for me. It's very memorable in so many ways. And of course, the day before my birthday, we had a blizzard. And all day on my birthday, it snowed like crazy. It felt like Christmas. And then my flight on Tuesday, when I was supposed to be back in California, got canceled. That's indicative of a Mercury retrograde. You can expect delays to happen. You can expect flights to be canceled. You can expect to lose luggage. I'm not expecting that, but it's a possibility. So there are some do's and don'ts about Mercury retrogrades, but I wanted to give you a little bit of guidance about this particular one. It is in Scorpio, my birth sign. And what I will tell you about Scorpio is that it's all about death, rebirth, taxes. It's about healing. That's what Scorpio is all about, those things. Going deep inside. Scorpios can be very intense. They can do a lot of introspection, self-analyzing. Scorpios can have a sting, of course. That's part of the Scorpio persona. And as we evolve through our lives, what happens is we start to overcome the birth sign that we were born into. And we become less like our birth sign. And we become more evolved. So this Mercury retrograde, I will tell you right from my dear friend Cheney Hall, this is what he has told me, that it's going to probably be the most difficult retrograde of this year. And here we are, there's so much going on the planet. Scorpio is all about digging deep and scraping up the old and dumping it. That's what this Mercury retrograde is going to do. People from the past could come back, whether it's a past lover, past friend, somebody you haven't heard from in, it could be years even, may come back. So old romances could be rekindled. There are some things that you have to really watch during a Mercury retrograde, and I'll tell you what they are. So this retrograde, started at 8:42 Eastern Standard Time, and it will end on November 20th. And then there will be a 2-week period after the retrograde is over where there will be the shadow point. The beginning of the shadow point is the most strong. The end of it becomes weaker. And the same is true with the beginning of the retrograde. It's the strongest at the beginning and less strong at the end. So things that you should avoid during Mercury retrograde. Travel, unless it's going back to a place you've been before. Starting something new. Doing any kind of elective surgery. Whether it's getting those wrinkles smoothed out, or your neck tightened, or belly tuck. No elective surgery during this time, because you're not going to be happy with the result. Now, I don't recommend elective surgery at any time, but some people are hell-bent on it. So you also want to avoid signing contracts during a Mercury retrograde unless you absolutely have to have an attorney read your contracts. And this is also, the Mercury retrograde is going to affect joint finances if you're in a partnership with someone. So be very careful about your finances. It's very easy to overspend during a retrograde period and then regret it afterwards. So things to not do during the retrograde. No elective surgery. Don't buy luxury items. No cell phones, no computers. No cars. Do not buy a car right now. Wait until after the 20th of November. You really want to avoid buying a house, washing machine, dryer. Those are considered luxury items. So if you can avoid it, go to the laundromat. Don't buy one right now. I've had clients buy kitchen stoves during a retrograde, refrigerator, and not being happy with what they purchased. And that happens often. You don't want to start dating somebody new during a Mercury retrograde, because even though, and I've seen it happen with clients and friends, they come to me, oh, I've met the one, I'm certain this is going to go the distance, but it's during a retrograde period. And inevitably, by the time Mercury turns direct, the relationship has petered out and ended. And you wonder what the heck happened. So if you buy something during this Mercury retrograde time, it is likely that you're going to feel like you've paid too much for it, or that you're not as happy as you thought you would be. Let's see. It is a really good time for going inside, doing introspection, healing the past. It's a really good time for rest, recuperation, reorganizing, decluttering, cleaning out the old. So renewing, reorganizing, Let's see what else. Renewing, reorganizing. It's the re's. So recycling, taking things, it's a great time because here we're coming to the end of the year anyway. This is a great time to clean out your closets, give away to a homeless shelter or to, a place that does consignments, and clean your closets out. It's a really good time to get rid of things that you don't use, books that you're not reading, or to reread something that you have read before. So that is what I have to say about Mercury Retrograde. It's a really good time to renew your relationship. It's a really good time to look at all the things that are working and remedy the things that aren't. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, share it with your friends, and I would love to hear your comments below. What do you think and feel about the Mercury retrograde? What have you experienced in the past? And I will tell you, when I get to California, I am heading home today. God willing, and the Mercury retrograde willing, I'm getting home today, and I will be doing tonight some ghost stories, true ghost stories for Halloween in honor of this special day of the veil being so thin, and who knows who may show up from the long ago past. You never know. Ghosts of Halloween past may show. So thanks so much for watching. Sending you lots of love from Colorado. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.